Hello, everybody. Okay, it just takes a while. If you wonder what the hell I'm doing, takes a while for me to be told I'm live, and I'm never sure until I get the notification. Yes, now I am live. So if I'm standing here looking like a shag on a rock, that's why. So, hey, how are we doing today? Are you ready for some massive madness coming your way? So, this is important about your future, creating your life by design, how you navigate the coming weeks and months, because it is going to get wild. And if you are still buying into the psyop, the psychological operation that has been unfolding over decades and amplified over the last 5 years, then it's going to be really tough for you, a lot tougher than those who are they already know that we are living in literally in a holographic projection, that we are experiencing a massive shift in consciousness right now, and that the walls of the matrix are collapsing around us. So, what does this mean for you? Well, it could mean nothing. It depends. All right. So, I want to equip you with the best possible tools and mental state to be able to navigate what's coming. So I listen to a lot of people, but there's one particular woman called Pamela Gregory. She is just beautiful. If you have not seen her on YouTube, I recommend you go and find her, Pam Gregory. She is a beautiful English woman. I said to my mum, I said to my husband, she is like the mum that everybody wants to have. I mean, I love my mum. My mother is beautiful. And, I wouldn't swap her for anything. But like Pam Gregory is just the most divine human being. And, she's got gray hair, but she's not, there's anything wrong with that. Meaning she's older. I think she's in the boomer generation. Um, uh, and she's very switched on. She's an astrologer. She explains everything from astrological perspectives, planetary alignments, retrograde, all this kind of stuff. Now, a lot of it goes right over the top of my head. I don't understand astrology, but I do understand the message that she conveys through her astrology, and she is usually absolutely spot on. And her latest broadcast is about the month of March and how things are going to ramp up this month, particularly with what she called the most potent full moon that we will have all year on the 14th of March. And now this is a great segue and a great opportunity for me to mention my event, my healing event, which is free, by the way, totally free, called the Gratitude Codes. And I have decided to do this event on the 14th of March here in Australia, the 13th of March in the United States, because it coincides with this really potent full moon that will it will help you to shed all of the past, all of the stuff that's keeping you stuck and blocked, all that. If you're ready to let that go, if you're ready to release your any attachment to your limiting beliefs, your fears, your doubts, then the Gratitude Codes event is for you. I will put the link in the description below, but it is wealthconsciousnessmovement.com/gratitude. That will take you to the registration page. Believe me, this is going to be an event like no other. We are in unprecedented times, and you have an opportunity to really massively shift your consciousness into the fifth dimensional world. This means leaving behind all your old identity, and that can be very challenging. Leaving behind everything that you have been attached to in the past to move into your new self, including your attachment to the beliefs that you may have about what is unfolding at the moment. So for anybody who is still getting caught up in the drama and you're still hysterical about whatever is unfolding in the United States, in the Ukraine, and you're getting all up in arms, collapsing. So everything is not as it seems. Everything is not as it seems. So whatever opinions and judgments and criticisms and hysterical emotions you have around this, are they really valid? What are they based on? How much information do you know about what's going on? How much information do you know about the history of what's going on? How much do you really know about what's going on in the background? None of us really know what's going on in the background. Even myself, who is well studied and well versed, I don't form opinions until I look very, very carefully at all the different aspects. And I do my due diligence. I look at why this is happening and why that's happening. And I listen to experts in this area and experts in that area. I take hundreds of hours of researching before I actually form an opinion. And that doesn't mean that my opinion's right either, because my opinion is still based on this much information. Even if I've done hundreds of hours of research, it's like the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg, that's all we have access to. There's all this other information that we don't have access to. So all of our opinions are based on a lot of conjecture, a lot of filling in the gaps for ourselves, and a lot of speculation. So what is the real truth? How do any of us know the real truth? You know, I mean, people, if you think about it, it wasn't that long ago that everybody still believed that the earth is flat. Now, don't even get me started. You know, I know there are some flat earthers out there. Don't even go there. Please. For me, the earth is round. We have beautiful stars and suns. That is all and you're not going to convince me otherwise. Sorry. But um, but still, what do I know? But if you look at history, the premises that were once considered absolute truth, when they're broken down. I can't remember the players in this particular one, but I think it was back in the early 1900s. A large percentage of women who were admitted to hospital to have their babies actually died. It was a frightening statistic. When they were in the hands of the doctors, they died. Now, there was one particular doctor who was crying out and saying his theory was, because this is what the doctors would do. They would they would carry out autopsies in the morning. So, and so the early 1900s, there's no scrubbing and creating bacteria-free environments before you go into surgery. So they're doing these autopsies. They got their hands in these dead bodies, lots of bacteria, lots of shit going on there. They didn't even wash their hands. They might have wiped them or something, or maybe they might have run them under some water, but there was no proper cleansing done before they would then go and deliver the babies. This one doctor was screaming at the top of his lungs, "You are transferring bacteria that you have in your hands and germs and all this other stuff, then going and delivering babies And you've got blood and stuff happening there as well, and you're dealing with these women and their intimate parts. You are infecting these women, and these women would die of like sepsis kind of diseases. They would die of infections. The infections were being transmitted from the autopsy. This doctor, they destroyed him. They completely destroyed him. Of course, what, 10 years later? Oh, look, that's what was happening. This doctor was absolutely right. So, because the establishment doctors were, it's like you don't question the doctors, they know best. How dare anybody question us and our practices? Well, history. So, it's important. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm encouraging you to question everything, no matter what your beliefs are. Question everything. So as we come into this, and things are wild right now, things are pretty damn crazy. And, I'm on X quite a lot because that's where the news is now. That's where the news that is the closest to the truth that you will get is. It is not paid for propaganda by the corporate media. Now, if that's news to you and you want to cancel me because of my beliefs and opinions, go right ahead. I'm not buying into that. And that's what they want, by the way. They want us all at each other's throats. But what we're seeing now is the collapse of the matrix. More and more truth is going to come out. It's going to be harder for those people who have continued to buy into the psychological operation. And I always say, follow the money. Follow the money in everything. So in all the wars, in our so-called health system, in our banking system, in our government systems, in our corporate systems, in our education systems. So what do you mean? Education systems, how is that attached to money? Well, if you look at how kids are indoctrinated, they're not encouraged to explore their gifts, their talents, their core genius, their superpowers. They're indoctrinated into reading, writing, and arithmetic. They're indoctrinated into set, rote learning. And that doesn't work for a lot of kids. Why is there only such a small number of children, who flourish and thrive and excel in our education system? And a vast majority of children who struggle, who fail, who can't optimize because their learning environment is not optimized for them, so they struggle to learn. It isn't because they're dumb or stupid or less intelligent. It's just because the education system is set up for a specific type of learning to identify a specific type of person who they can put into the channels that they want and class them as the most intelligent people in society. I don't buy into that. There are some incredibly intelligent people who really look dumb in the education system because their type of learning, the way they learn, is not offered to them. So, and it's a real shame. And how this is attached to the financial system, it's because as you get these so-called highly intelligent people into the education system, they then are indoctrinated. The whole thing is a system of indoctrination. And this is the reason I'm talking about this, is because as a light worker and a light warrior, I'm here to help to bust these systems open, to help you to break free from the system. Because you too, like me, like 99.9% of the population, have been indoctrinated to believe that we are at the mercy of the system, to be indoctrinated to believe that we are powerless. against the machine, that we need to comply, that we need to be good little minions and just do what we're told, stay in our box, stay in our lane, get an education, get a job, get a mortgage, get into debt for cars and get into credit card debt and buy more stuff, because that's the definition of success. The more stuff you have, you know, whoever dies with the most stuff wins. How does that work? You die, that stuff is worthless. Like, come on. So, you know, even somebody who was really a part of the establishment, Warren Buffett, even he said, somebody asked him, what's your definition of success? And he said, are you happy? Are you happy? Okay, money is certainly, it's easier to be happy if you have money, if you don't have debts piling up, if you're not struggling financially, if you're not in stress and anxiety about money. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely. Been there. Not fun. However, it is not money can't buy you happiness. That saying, it's true. There are a lot of rich, wealthy people out there who are miserable AF. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it's like, dude, sort your shit out. The whole world is your playground. What's your problem? But their problems are their problems. So we all have problems in our lives. We all have challenges that we need to work to overcome. We're all a work in progress. Anyway, I digress. So coming back to navigating the next weeks and months as things ramp up, amplify, get even more crazy. Don't believe everything you hear and everything you see. Please stop buying into the drama. This is going to do you in mentally and emotionally if you keep buying in to everything you hear on social media, on mainstream media, because everybody's got an angle, everybody's got an agenda. Everybody has a bias. We all have a bias. I have a bias. You have a bias. We all have a bias based on the information that we are exposed to, and what we believe to be true. Here's the thing. If it's a fact that you are living in a holographic projection that is by your creation and by your design, if you are the master creator of this matrix, and if you know that to be true, when every single piece of proof that you have, as far as your senses is concerned, tell you the opposite, tell you that this is real, this is my little desk here with my computer on it, this is my computer, this is real, my dog down here, she's real, I can touch me, I'm real. It's not real. It's all a creation. It's all a holographic projection. It's all energy, frequency, vibration. The reason you have control over your outcomes is because you have control over energy, frequency, and vibration. You are energy, frequency, and vibration. Your emotional guidance system is it's your guide. It is your guidance system. It's telling you if you are sad, then it's your beliefs, it's your mental opinions and your judgments about what is, that's causing you unhappiness. Byron Katie. It is your thoughts that create your suffering. You can change your thoughts and you can change your state of mind like that. Seriously. Just look at something differently. How is it that we have such a vast range of people with completely different opinions? Like, it's wild. I mean, when I grew up, politics was a subject that if you wanted to keep peace and harmony, then you generally avoided the subject because it could get heated, because people see different things and they believe different things about the political, because they have different information, different points of view, come from different experiences, right? And depending on your knowledge, your information, your experiences, you form an opinion. Depending on somebody else's knowledge, information, experiences, they form an opinion. Is it based in truth? Some of it. And yet, as we have continued to come into this time and this age, that the political landscape has become even more greatly weaponized. It's been weaponized. Seriously, you look at how hysterical people get as soon as you start to mention politics, because people's brains have been hijacked and indoctrinated into believing a set of beliefs about the people who believe one thing and the people who believe the other thing. And now we've got a situation where that person who doesn't agree with me is the enemy. They must be eradicated. What the hell? What the hell? We must cancel them. We must eliminate them. They don't believe what I believe. They're bad people. They're bad people because I believe one thing, because I have the truth. I am the ultimate source of truth, and I can show you the ultimate source of truth. Every opinion I have is the truth, and you're wrong, and I'm right, and you must be condemned, cancelled, eradicated, taken out, because you are my existential threat. Wait, what? No words. No words. It's all BS. It's all by design. Now, as we move more and more into the light, more and more of the darkness is being exposed. So, no matter what you believe, no matter what your political persuasion is, no matter, calm down, just calm down. Know that it's all perfect. Know that there is an agitation out there, and there are catalysts for change that are stirring everything up so the truth comes to the surface and the darkness is exposed to the light, because wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. But the darkness cannot be overcome if it remains in the darkness. So the more we move into the light, the more we see of the darkness that has existed and perpetuated on our planet for thousands of years. This is the most beautiful, amazing, magical, miraculous planet. If you don't believe me, go out into a park, watch a butterfly, watch a dog playing, watch kids running around and giggling and laughing. Watch the trees, watch them grow year after year after year. Nature. Go to a beach, put your feet in the sand, put your feet in the water, feel the energy, feel the vibration. The vibration and the frequency is elevating, elevating, elevating as we move into this transitional time of moving into this fifth dimensional version of reality, which will be dominated by peace, by harmony, by compassion, by understanding, by acceptance, by love. Yes, sounds utopian. That's where I'm going. Where are you going? The more you fight against what is, the more energy you give to the constructs, the more you perpetuate those constructs. They are just constructs. Don't get pulled into them. Don't allow them to hijack your brain. And be open to new information. So go seeking, other information. Listen to alternative perspectives and alternative points of view. Question everything. Don't immediately condemn somebody else's opinion because it's different to yours. Maybe look at why they believe that, why they think that. What information do they have access to that you haven't necessarily been exposed to? Don't take everything the mainstream media, corporate propaganda machine feeds you and just parrot it. Back it up with something solid, with actual evidence for your, not for other people, for yourself. Evidence-based reality, not third party, evidence-based information that really resonates with you. I present information to people all the time and they refuse to even look at it because it challenges their perspective and their point of view. They're too scared to look at it because, oh my God, what if there's an element of truth in what she's saying? What if there's just the tiniest bit of evidence? Can't have that. Can't be exposed to that. That would challenge my worldview. And if you challenge my worldview, that's an existential threat to me. Why am I even going off on this tangent? Because believe me, you will want to know, you will want to use these particular strategies as we move into the time that is coming. Because if you continue to stay wedded and attached to your old world views, to what you believe to be true, to what you think has to happen according to your belief systems and your understanding of the world, everything's going to be shedded. Everything's going to be shredded. Your current view of the world will probably be torn to pieces. And for the vast majority of people, that is way too hard for them to process mentally. It's going to create an even worse mental crisis than we have right now. I want you to be prepared for that. You need to be mentally strong. You need to be emotionally strong. You need to be flexible. You need to be willing to question everything. Don't get attached to your opinions. Emotionally distance yourself and detach yourself from everything. If you need to, go and read the works of Byron Katie and do her process, the work, the 4 questions and the turnaround. It's incredibly liberating. It is so liberating when you stop being emotionally attached and hysterical about what is going on in the world. It will free you mentally, emotionally, if you detach, if you are willing to let go of all you believe to be true and just go, I wonder if, what do I wish to be true instead? If this belief causes me grief and it causes me anxiety and stress and anger and frustration, that is your emotional guidance system telling you something's off. So, what would you like to believe instead? Would you like to believe that everything is perfect? Maybe everything is perfect in what you perceive is imperfection. Maybe your perception of imperfection is actually perfection. Maybe life is happening for you, not to you. Maybe the unfolding is everything it is supposed to be. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. Maybe everything you've experienced in this life has led you to this particular point in time and it's all perfect. What if you believed that, embraced that, embodied that? Doesn't mean you haven't been through difficult times. It doesn't mean that it wasn't significant, that your experiences weren't significant. Of course they were significant. But are you going to be emotionally attached to those experiences for the rest of your life? The more emotionally attached you are to the past, or the emotionally attached you are and wedded you are to your current opinions, judgments, and criticisms of what is unfolding, the less room there is for you to expand into the new version of reality. The less room there is for you to create your life by design. The less room there is for you to experience bliss and wholeness and joy. And because your world, your field is filled up with all this old crap that doesn't serve you anymore. So, are you ready to let go and shed all of that old crap? Are you ready to stop being emotionally attached to what your perception? Everything is perception, everything is a story, everything is perception, everything is a story. No matter how much proof you believe you have about that, what you believe is true. Remember the doctors who were killing women in birthing suites because they refused to even consider that they were the problem and they were spreading infection. Can you imagine as a doctor finding that out? And the psychological attachment you would have to dismissing that, because you would have to then realize that you were the problem and what you were doing, your practices, were killing women at birth. Not women at birth, but you were killing the women who were birthing. That's pretty hard psychologically to accept, don't you think? So of course the doctors would dismiss it. Plus, they have a superior attitude to everything, and we know everything because we're doctors. It's kind of what the establishment does. Puts these people on a pedestal and they think they can do no wrong and they think they know better than everybody else. Don't even get me started. So, question everything. Buckle up. Things are about to get very interesting and very bit cray-cray, bit wild. Truths are going to be revealed that are going to be psychologically difficult for you to really embody. There are going to be things that unfold that actually the opposite of what you believe is true. Prepare yourself for that. The way you do that is emotionally detach from everything that you believe to be true. It's the same as if you want to transform your life. You need to emotionally detach from everything that you believe to be true, because within your belief systems, there are beliefs that are sabotaging your ability to succeed, that are stopping you from being the best version of you. There are fears, doubts, blocks, and limiting beliefs that are actually standing in your way from creating the wealth, from creating the happiness, from creating the health, from having loving relationships. It's all BS. Belief systems. Everything stems from your belief system. So I hope this has been helpful. I love you, no matter what you believe. And I don't tend to share a lot about my beliefs because they're my beliefs. And I'm not sure. I know that my beliefs would probably, set the keyboard warriors off. A whole lot of people would be very angry at me for my beliefs. I don't know who that serves, really. I'm just going to encourage you to question everything, to do your due diligence, to put your biases aside, and to maybe be open to alternative points of view and how those points of view were arrived at. Maybe there's some validity in those points of view. Heaven forbid. We're all human. We're all spirit having a human experience. We all have access to a very limited amount of information, even those who do their due diligence, who do the research like I do. We all still are working on a very limited body of information. Plus, our brains are often manipulated and hijacked by the opinions of others who we elevate to positions that they haven't necessarily earned and shouldn't occupy in our mind, in our esteem. Put everybody on a leveling playing field, everybody. The people you condemn, put them on the same plane. We're all human. We're all spirits having a human experience. The people you have elevated, put them on the same plane. Treat them the same. Changes everything. Changes everything. So, I love you loads. I'm looking forward to the coming weeks and months as more and more truth is brought to the light. Old paradigms are shattered. Old paradigms are going to be shattered. Old systems are going to be torn apart. There will be chaos. Be prepared. I'm not saying this to put fear in you, but there will also be incredible opportunities for healing, for wealth building, there's always so many opportunities available to you. Now is the perfect time to start focusing on the reality that you want to create for yourself. Moving forward, stop being bound by these false beliefs that have been anchoring you to mediocrity, to lack, that have been holding you back. It is time to break those chains. It is time to shake off those shackles. It's time to fly, baby. If you're ready for that, then make sure that you come to the Gratitude Codes free healing event. It's going to be happening on the full moon this month. It's going to be absolutely off the charts. Go to wealthconsciousnessmovement.com/gratitude. Register, and then make sure that you put the date and the time in your diary and be there live, because this is going to be unlike any healing event you have ever been to. It's going to rock you. It's going to absolutely rock your socks and help you to leave all that old baggage behind so you can move into the fifth dimensional world and reality clear of all that old baggage. Does that sound good? Or does that sound good? You ready for that kind of transformation? It's a bit scary, actually. Really, it's a bit confronting. So buckle up. Things are about to get really good. The shakedown is happening. All right, love you. Mwah. I'll see you again in another video soon. Ciao.